Photography is all about utilising and manipulating light, actually coming from the Latin of painting with light. In the course, what we look at are a range of things based mainly on the manual functions of the camera. For example, you can work with portraiture, you can work with still life, and it can be even landscape-based night photography. The students that take photography can understand the impact of an image, the choices that are used, colour choices that are used, the lighting, etc. But they also get to use an industry standard package called Photoshop, which is seen and used in many different businesses across the world, across the entire globe. So there are many skills that you can use and can apply to many different types of careers and career choices. There are a range of subjects that can work well with photography because I have had students in the past that might do psychology, or they might do sciences, and they can link that in based on their personal investigation at A level. But there are obvious choices. You can do art and design as well, you can do lens-based media through film, but we have had students from many different backgrounds with many different ideas on careers utilising photography. There are obvious careers such as working as a freelance photographer, working in a photography environment, right down to previous students of mine have been able to work in Vogue magazine and have worked and currently work for Sky Sports. So you can work behind the moving camera, but it does assist in other subjects and careers that you wouldn't necessarily automatically think of, such as journalism. With the changes in journalism these days, you don't have separate camera and cameramen or women. You have the journalists writing the story and taking the pictures. But we live in a multimedia world that is very driven by imagery anyway, so cameras exist where there is a means of selling a product or a person or a business. They need to have drive and ambition, they need to be able to work beyond the classroom, they need to have imagination and creativity. They don't necessarily have to have had experience in the arts or a GCSE in any art-based subject. I have had and seen some of the best results come from students who have no prior background. Lots of the students nowadays walk around with a high caliber camera in their pocket. They already naturally understand how to take a good photograph. But what you will learn on this course is how to use a digital SLR, to use the manual functions and what they do. You will learn how to be as close to a professional photographer as you can be. So the students that undertake the course should be passionate, creative, hardworking, and be able to manage their time effectively outside of the class.
My favourite thing about photography is like the creative freedom it gives me outside of my other subjects, because a lot of them are very essay based or academically heavy, but photography is quite like creative and you can take your ideas and really mould them to what you want to do.
I like it because it gives you a lot of liberty to do your own thing. With a lot of other subjects, it's really structured. You do this and you do this and you do that. Whereas with photography, you get to choose what you look at and you get to do your own research, and it's pretty relaxed. It's not like a module-based thing. What tips would you have for someone who's actually taking the subject?
Keep on top of your work, because you do take a lot of photographs because you do mini projects, you take a lot of photos for each one. So I would say keep on top of all your work. But once you get on top of it, it is like really straightforward what you do. So just make sure that you spend enough time with it.
I would just say to make sure you develop your ideas. Like, don't get stuck in one thing, because if you get stuck and so fixated on like one aspect, then you end up, overthinking that. Just have that freedom to explore something new and don't get to just take loads of photos. How does photography tie into your other subjects?
I take a range of subjects. I take humanities, English, and it ties in there, so you can look at books or look at things like that for inspiration. But I also do science. I do biology and you can even incorporate that into photography too. I'm taking pictures through microscopes and looking at cells. And photography is really good because you can mould it to whatever you want it to be. You can fit it to a science or a language, or you choose your point of inspiration and you can work from there. So it's really good accompanying subject to kind of any topic you want to do.
It's kind of the same with me. I'm doing photography at uni because I want to go into journalism, so I do English and history as well. So it like ties in well with the history of photography, which we did at the start, and also English with the essay writing. But also I do psychology as well. But you can like, with the distortion photography that we do, it's really easy to tie it in with like mental illnesses or, you know, like science stuff. It's quite easy to tie everything in together, which makes it a lot easier to study.
That's really interesting. Ta-da!
There we go, look at that, job done. Good work.